Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Join me, how good it is to be together. Hine ma tov u'manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
Hine ma tov u'manayim. How good it is to be together. Welcome, everyone. It's exciting to start Shabbat together here at Temple Israel, and it's exciting to welcome our Kita Hey class. Hey, Kita Hey down there. Good to see you guys. It's been a while. Yeah, who are going to lead us in some of the tefillot, some of the prayers today as part of Kabbalat Shabbat. We welcome in Shabbat, the day of rest. We begin with the lighting of Shabbat candles, and I invite the Kita Hey teacher, Maura Mary Margaret, to come on up and help us light Shabbat candles. Please rise.
Right here. It's windy. It's really windy. Here, I'll protect this one. Oh God, please. It's really windy in this corner. Not really sure. You got it. It's there. Yep. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. May be seated. We open our Siddur Lev Shalem to page 11. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God as we raise our voices in song. Page 11, Lechuner Anana.
Lechuner Anina, Lechuner Anina, Lechuner Anina, Ladonai, Lechuner Anina, Lechuner Anina, Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Nekadma, Fana Bitoda, Fana Bitoda, Fana Bitoda, Nekadma, Fana Bitoda, Bizmirot, Naria Lo, Lechuner Anina, Lechuner Anina, Lechuner Anina, Ladonai, Lechuner Anina, Lechuner Anina, Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Nekadma, Fana B'toda Bizmirot, Naria Lo, Ki HaGadol Ne'emal Gadol Kol Elohim. Arba'im shana kud bedor va'omaram to'il levavim vehem lidu terachai asher nishbati bi'api im yevon hamenuchati.
Sing to Adonai a new song. Sing to Adonai all the earth. Page 13, Shiru L'Adonai Shir Chadash.
This might be a new melody for some of you, but it's super fun. So join me when you feel comfortable. Shiru לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישוע. Try that. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, מיום ליום, מיום ליום, מיום ליום, מיום ליום, מיום ליום, מיום ליום, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו.
We turn to page 20, the final 3 lines of the page with the red arrow for Romamu.
Romamu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu. Ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh. Ki kadosh, ki kadosh, ki kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu. Ki kadosh, ki kadosh, ki kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu.
We turn to page 23 and we welcome the Shabbat Kala, the Shabbat bride, with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmi'anu el hameyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki mekor haberacha. Mirosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshava techila. Lecha Dodi likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמונם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה.
May be seated. We continue on page 27.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני עצמי שמך
הגיבה
בברכה צדיק התמר יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינבו בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא הבלעת בו.
Page 29.
אדוני מלאכי ולבש אדוני עוזי תעזרתי גון תבל בתימות מקולות מים רבים אדירים משפרי ים אדיר במרום אדוני עדותיך נמיו בלביתך נאווה קודש אדוני לאורך ימים.
Happy to call on my colleague, our Director of Congregational Learning, Rabbi Helene Kornsgold, to introduce our Kita Hey class.
Shabbat Shalom. So every year at Temple Israel Religious School, each grade has a specific theme or topic that they learn throughout the year. So in Kita Hey, the theme is life cycle. It's a very special curriculum that their teacher, Mary Margaret, really created and developed over the years. And it really goes through everything from Brit Milah, Simchat Bat Mitzvah, marriage, death. They go through the whole life cycle. And this year, Mary Margaret had an idea of what to do during their family education program, which a lot of you participated in. So I'm going to call up their awesome teacher, Mary Margaret, to tell you a little bit more about the presentation that you guys all worked on during the family education program. And I'm going to also call upon Claire Mann to present.
Erev Tov and Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, we are happy to be here and to see you all. It is always, always, always my privilege to teach the children at Temple Israel Religious School. And this year's Hay class is absolutely no exception. They are extraordinary in every sense of the word. And I will tell you that every teacher in the school agrees. Every teacher who's had them up until now agrees. They are just extraordinary. The conversations we have in class and the depth of their thinking and their ideas are absolutely beautiful, and they are all tremendous young Jewish scholars. So as Rabbi mentioned, this year for our family education, going along with the theme of the Jewish life cycle, we chose to create something that is a true symbol of becoming a Jewish adult, something that's a big part of the Bar Bat Mitzvah celebration that each of these students will soon enjoy. And absolutely no pun intended, but many of you had a hand in producing this beautiful talit. And so one of our great scholars, Miss Claire here, is going to tell you about the talit that was created.
So basically, we have the talit and we tied the seat, and we have our hands that we put on the talit, and we wrote our English name and our Hebrew name, and our adults wrote a little note for their child and the full class. And the symbol for the hand is that we made a pledge to our Judaism.
Exactly. And with the messages that are written on there, we note that we will be welcoming them when it's time for their bar mitzvah. We'll be welcoming them into the adult Jewish community. So it's a piece of community, it's a piece of maturing into Jewish adults, it's a piece of knowledge, and it's a piece of all of you parents who participated, your love you pour into your individual students and the messages you wrote to the individual class. So until these lovely students reach bar and bat mitzvah age, they will not be wearing a talit. But we are going to ask, first, I'm going to ask the rest of the class. Come on up. And now all parents of our Hay class, I'm going to ask you to come up. You are going to help us hold the talit over the children while we do the blessing over them for Shabbat. Until they can wear the talit, we're going to ask you to hold it over them. Your parents come and grab a piece. I got some big old tall fifth graders this year, so I know exactly. These for our children.
You can get close.
Is everybody in? Okay.
That's so beautiful.
Everybody's going to read the blessing?
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha Ken yehi ratzon.
May God bless you and protect you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha Ken yehi ratzon.
May God's countenance shine upon you, and may God bestow kindness upon you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon.
May God's face be lifted toward you, and may God grant you shalom, grant you peace. Ken yehi ratzon. Amen.
Toda, parents.
Parents, you can come on down. Why don't we have our Kita Hay stay up on the bima?
Yep.
So at this point, we turn to our prayers for healing, our Mishaberach prayer, as we think of those in our lives in need of physical and spiritual well-being. And this Shabbat, in our prayers, we think of Rav Yaakov Chai ben Hadassah, Shimon ben Yaakov, Mordechai ben Naomi, Devorah bat Sarah, Hershel Yehoshua ben Malka, Perel bat Rezel, Do ben Ita, Shmuel Yaakov ben Kalia v'Ari, Devorah Rachel, Malka bat Sarah, Leib Yisrael ben Abraham bat Tzipora, Aliza Meira bat Leah, Tzivya bat Chana, Elijah Avila, Yafa Fagel bat Ziselbina, Kathy Berlin, Chana Shifra bat Moshe v'Bluma, Abraham David ben Liba, Bani Meyerson, Tova bat Rivka, Karen bat Yaakov Yerushalayim Cyril, Adina Miriam, Harry Kinney, Kevin Haffey, Ezer Pesach, Devorah bat Zipporah, Zelda bat Yaakov and Miriam, Ben Sion Chai ben Rachel, Leah Liba bat Doba, Miriam bat Rivka, Miriam Chana bat Raphael v'Abigail, Allison Kuntz, James Julia, Jean Cook, Marvin Matthews, Linda Zatlin, Dennis Carroll, Avery Yitzchak, Mordechai Chaim ben Leah, Chaya bat Sarah, Kim Worrell, Moshe, Rachmiel, and Bluma Duva. If you'd like to include someone in the Mishberach prayer, I invite you to rise and share the names when I come to you.
Susie Rose, Darren Mortimer, John Elkin, Anthony Allen, Patrick McKelvey, Tommy Bacchus.
Anyone else? Vet Kol HaCholim, and all those who are ill. Cantor leads us in the Mishberach prayer.
Let's join our voices together. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn in the Siddurim to page 30 to the Mourner's Kaddish. I invite all those in mourning or marking a yard site to rise and join me in the words of the Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'yalmad yivera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael v'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehi shemei rabbah mevorach leolam olamei omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha krihu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechamata damiran b'yalma v'yimru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru Amen. Kita Hey, we met together almost every Sunday this past year, and I'm going to ask you guys the same thing that you usually ask me every week. What did you bring me for snack?
What did you?
I want to hear, what did you bring me for snack?
I didn't bring anything.
Well, that's not very nice. Because we learned all about having an aliyah to the Torah, and we practiced that, and putting on the talit, and we learned Kabbalah Shabbat, and we learned about the Amidah, and we learned about the Torah service. We covered a lot in the B'nai Mitzvah Basics class, but we also took a tour of Jewish baked goods. I discovered that was a very good way to motivate you all. What were your favorites?
Black and white.
We got one for black and white cookies. We got two for black and whites. We got a call for Rugelach. Rugelach or mandel bread. Black and whites are winning. Rugelach. Any of the snacks. What about on this side? Mandel bread, okay. They're developing a very Jewish baked palate for the course this year. We also learned about Oreos and when Oreos became kosher, which was a major milestone in my childhood. But Kita Hey, I've really enjoyed spending Sunday mornings with you this past year. And now I'm going to call on you all to lead us in Mariv in the evening service. Page 39, please rise for the Baruch Hu.
Right here. You guys are here, right? Boys, you're here. Go closer. No. Okay, so come you stay right here, Jenna. And then Aviva and Talia, one of you come to this one. Here. You're gonna make it. And Talia, you come right here, okay? Right here, honey. Got it? And then the three of you on this one, okay? Okay, here's some clothes.
Are you listening to my prayers? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Everyone.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yalalai, lai, lai. 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 Yalalai, lai, lai.
May be seated. We continue in the middle of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, rolls light before darkness and darkness from before the light.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים. תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המריב הרבי.
Amen.
אהבת
Page
תורה
40.
מצוותך, אהבת תורה מצוות ומשפטים אתה למעלה כי הם חגינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, ואהבתך תשים ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. We cover our eyes and we sing,
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad,
Baruch
Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננת בניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשופטך ובקומך, ובשרתך נרות על ידיך, והיו תותפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך.
Page 42.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 43.
Then Moses, Miriam, and the people Israel joyfully sang this song to you, Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, top of page 44.
Mi chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ba'elim mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha nedar. Nora Tehilot, Ose
כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלם יד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully and awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Blessed are you who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Yerushalayim, over Jerusalem. Hashkivenu, page 45.
Join with me, Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Leshalom, Leshalom. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Leshalom, Leshalom. Ve'ha'amidenu, Malkeinu, L'chaim, Chaim, Ufroz aleinu, Sukkot, Shlomecha, Shlomecha. When I lay down at night, when I lay down at night, when I rest my head, when I rest my head, oh God, watch over me. Oh God, watch over me. And when the morning comes, we thank Adonai. We thank Adonai and pray for peace. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, Ve'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, Ve'hamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim. Ushmor tzitenu vo'enu l'chaim u'lishalom me'ata v'ad olam ufroz aleinu sukat shalomecha baruch ata Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Page 46, please rise for Vishamru.
Everyone stand up. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat le'dorotam berit olam. B'nei uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat le'dorotam tolam. Uvayom hashvi shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי ויבניך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לעולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויבר ותרומה וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי קודשה בריחו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמא במהרו amen.
We spend the next few moments in silent prayer with the words of the Amidah, beginning on page 47.
When you've completed your Amidah, you may be seated.
We continue on page 54 with Kaddish Shalem.
בעלמא דברך חירותי ויבניך מלכותי, בחייכון ובמכון ובחיי בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לעולמי עולמיה, יתברך Asfi Shabafi Parvis Ramavina Sevis Arvis Lavital Shmiriku Chabriku Leila Min Hoberata Vishirata Jbrata Vinachamata Zamiran Mavi Meru Amen Tikaba Sultan about Sons of Israel Kazam Abuhon Bishmai Vimru Amen Yehiv Samarab Min Shmai Vachaim Velko Israel Vimru Amen Noseh Shalom Vimromav Huyaseh Shalom Aleinu Velko Israel Vel Kol Yoshvei Tevel Vimru Amen.
Turn to page 55. I invite you to rise for the Kiddush as Kita Hey, come and get your grape juice.
Okay.
And all kids, come on up and get your grape juice.
This one?
No?
This one?
No. What are you going to eat on Sunday?
One thing.
All right, hold them up nice and high. Savri Maranan Rabbanan Rabotai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushan mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yavav ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha b'yava u'ratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
May be seated just for a moment. Let's turn ahead in the Sidurim to page 63. We're in a special period of time on the Jewish calendar called Sfirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer, beginning on the second night of Passover. For many of us at our Seders, at the end of the night, we start to count 49 nights leading from Passover to the holiday of Shavuot, 7 weeks after Passover. And we believe this is the time that our ancestors traveled between Egypt at the end of the Passover story and 7 weeks later arriving at Mount Sinai, where they heard God giving them the 10 Commandments. And we count up to 49, up to the 50th day in excitement and anticipation of that. And we reenact that feeling each year after Passover by counting the Omer and preparing for Shavuot. So on page 63, Cantor is going to lead us in the bracha, in the blessing for the counting of the Omer, followed by the line for the appropriate day. Last night was 13, so tonight is 14. I'm going to ask everyone to please rise, page 63.
Join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer al sfirat haomer al sfirat haomer al sfirat haomer. Turn with me to the top of 66. Hayom Chamisha Asar Yom.
Back one page.
Oh, you said 14.
Last night was 13, today is 14.
Oh, I missed.
Bottom of page 65.
My hearing's going. Okay. Hayom arba'a asar yom shehem shnei shavuot la'omer. Today is 14 days, 2 weeks
to the
of the
counting of the Omer. We remain standing. We turn back to Aleinu on page 56.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'moshev yikaro b'shamayim mimal u'shchinatu zo b'gavhei meromim u'Eloheinu einon emen malkeinu efes ulaton kakatu b'torato v'yadat hayom ve'ashevota el levavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim imal v'haaretz mitachad einon al ken agapel kakatu v'toratecha Adonai yimloch leolam va'en v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
May be seated. We turn to page 58 for the Mourner's Kaddish. This coming week, we will mark the Yort sites of Harry Nelson, Molly Fabricant, Rachel Rosenbaum, Erwin Thaler, Helen Reichard, Regina Gelfand Landis, Michael Meiselman, Louis Rotker, Shepard Shapiro, Jeannie Major, Julius Newman, Esther Michelle, Sheldon Bobrow, Walter Heskins, Sylvia Mysiorek, Joseph Greenspan, Esther Koss, Lundy Levine Hardis, Nathan Kay, Roseanne Grant, Helen Weinstein, Charles Ginsberg, Betty Miller, Mary Sfredo, Beatrice Goodman, Ira Schulman, Joanna Simons, Dora Nelson, Harry Wolfert, Philip Nalabatsky, Sarah Dixon, Gary Witt, Arthur Gordon, Libby Levinston, Irving Hochstadt, Jacob Feldman, Shirley Silverstein, Sanford Epstein, Audrey Maddens, Mamie Schaefer, Philip Katzen, Gabriel Gleiberman, Julius Katzen, Elizabeth Small, Judy Sutker, Pamela Godwin Carroll, Irving Epstein, Jacob Beikovitz, Wolf Aschendorf, Rachel Sinko, Celia Rubin, Irving Jacobson, Sheila Kritzer, Sadie Boyce, Shirley Millender, Esther Doris, and Helga Rosenberger. Page 58, I invite those in mourning or marking a Yort site to rise and join me in the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah, v'yalmad yivera kirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimru amen, yehei shemei rabah mevorach le'olam olamei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha prichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechamata, damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen, yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen, oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May be seated. Representing the Temple Israel Board of Trustees, I'm happy to call on Tommy Mann. Together with Claire Mann. You like giving announcements when your kids are up here?
Yeah, it's fun.
Best part of the treasurer job, right?
That's right. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you to Rabbi Wolk and Cantor Lissick for leading us in services, and to the entire Kita Hey class for their fantastic performance today. And special thanks to their teachers, Rabbi Wolk and Mary Margaret Cantor, and their madrachim, Elliot Kreitman and Ben Baum, to the director of our congregational education, Rabbi Kornsgold, to Adam Ward, our pianist, and Sean Sievert, our audio-visual tech. Our Yom Ha'atzmaut celebration of Israel's Independence Day will be on Sunday, May 1st from 1 to 3 p.m. Join Yonina, a dynamic husband and wife duo, on a virtual journey to ancient Jerusalem, including the city of David, with stories and songs in celebration of Israeli Independence Day. There'll be an opportunity for live Q&A. I think this is going to be a pretty cool experience. Registration is required. On Friday, May 13th, we have 3 very special events. Torah on Tap's Lag BaOmer barbecue at 4 p.m. and also Torah Tat's Bim Bam Shabbat, followed by Women of Temple Israel Shabbat. Wodi shoutouts are available for purchase, and participatory parts are available by contacting Beth Stilitano. Registration for Torah on Tap and the Torah Tots is required. To sign up for May events and everything happening at Temple Israel, please see our weekly email blast and website, as well as your weekly Shabbat announcements. And last but certainly not least, a very happy birthday to my beautiful wife, Bethany.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Mazel Tov Uvracha. Happy birthday, Bethany.
Happy birthday, Yom Huledet.
Services resume tomorrow morning at 9:30. Please join us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Tommy and Claire. We turn back to page 5 and we conclude our service with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Boachem, Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Teirchem l'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom. Yasher Koach Kita Hey.